sure it's good for the gander as well. That is a terrible segue into what I'm going to bring in right now to the Toyota of Warren Studios. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to give you your proper introduction. The athletic director and assistant varsity softball coach of the South Range Raiders, joined by his lovely daughter and leader in like every category ever when it comes to being a defensive specialist and just outright good human being. Jamie FEREN, Donnie FEREN, how are you?
I'm good today. Getting ready for practice.
Getting ready for practice. I like it. And Mr. FEREN, how are you, sir?
It's been a good day, DJ. It's been a real good day today.
That's all that matters. As long as it's a good day for Donnie FEREN, I don't care about anything else. But I care a little bit, Jamie. It's been a good day for you. We'll start with a tough question. Do you mind?
Go for it.
All right. How has it been? Take us through, for those who weren't able, obviously YSN was not on campus that day at Hoover. Take us through what happened on that day that ended your year, here in your senior year.
Well, it was actually the first inning of the game, but I was covering second on a double play, and I got the throw, and I landed on the bag, and the girl slid right into my ankle, and it pretty much immediately we knew.
So from that perspective, right, from your perspective, your senior year, your team is just locked and loaded, winning championships. Now you're entering the regionals, right? All this. You had visions of this. I mean, you've made it to the big dance. You've played in the state championship game. This was the team. This was your senior year, right by your teammates. You were cruising. You were red hot at inside the box, and you're defensive. It's going to be hard to replace you. I don't care anybody, not even just on your team, but I personally don't think anybody could replace you in this area the way you play second base. When that happened, what was going through your mind immediately? How were you feeling? How, mentally, physically, emotionally, how did you deal with that?
Well, it was definitely tough, but in the moment we were playing at the same field of our JV team. They were yelling to go get one of their players to hopefully try and fill that spot. But I left early to go get the x-ray, and they had to cut the stirrup off my ankle because it ended up being so swollen, and I was like, this isn't good. They took one look at it and said, get the foot too, just in case. But,
so from your perspective, I mean, were you able to compartmentalize this? I mean, was this, obviously as a senior, you feel like you're almost, invincible, right? And especially the way you were playing. I mean, from Myrtle Beach on, kiddo, you were just red hot. What was it like, to show up to your first game, your first practice on crutches, and have to do something that you haven't done a whole lot in your life, and that's kind of sit on the bench?
No, it was definitely hard, especially all the girls around me growing up playing with them. You could see the looks on their faces, and it took a lot in me just to be cheerful and try to support them the best I can, and that's what I'm doing now too. I really want to be there for them. I couldn't ask for better teammates in this situation.
What I've been so proud of, and Dad, I'm going to come at you next, is the way that you've stepped up, the way that you have led from the bench. And it's weird because I can see, usually I'm right next to the dugout and I can't see what happens inside the dugout, but we were positioned on the other side, and I was able to watch you have conversations with your fellow seniors. I was able to watch you have conversations with your teammates, and Sam Suzanne, who's now basically taken over your spot at second base. If I feel like you're like that quarterback on the sideline that's able to kind of tell her and position her. And correct me if I'm wrong, I've heard you reposition her during a game and tell her heads up, something's coming. Are you making a transition to coach right now as a senior in high school from this?
We've definitely been making the joke I'm the third FEREN on the coaching staff now, but Sam's definitely, she wants to play for me. It's hard for her. She's never played second before. On our team, we learn especially Julie's such a strong pitcher. We have me shifted over towards first a lot during the season. I've kind of helped Sam that way too. Just knowing how Julie pitches and where she should line up for who.
Donnie, how has this been for you? I mean, obviously, your baby girl. I mean, she's a senior in high school. You want the world for her. You want a state championship for her, all that stuff. And that happens at Hoover. What was going through your mind?
Just basically, hey, let's try to get up. Let's try to walk it off. Trying to, hope for the best. But normally I don't. If she gets knocked down or something, I don't come out. But just the look on her face, I knew it probably wasn't good. But she ended up trying to play one more play. It's rough. It's really rough.
To watch her, what she's doing now. I mean, obviously that moment, it's fleeting, right? It feels like it lasts forever, but it's a fleeting moment in time. But to see what she's doing now, to being so inspirational, to making an effect on the game and not even it being in the lineup, what makes you most proud about how she's handled this whole situation?
She still wants to be there every day. I mean, it's not just about her. She wants to be there for her teammates. She still wants her teammates to succeed and go as far as they can. And she's going to do whatever she has to do to help them achieve that ultimate goal.
I love it. I love it. I mean, she's got that FEREN spirit. There's no doubt about it. If she still wanted to be in there with a broken ankle, with a fractured ankle, that says a lot about who she is and what she means, obviously, to this team. Jamie, when you think about how fast the last 4 years have gone for you, I mean, you were just a baby freshman last time. I mean, I turned around and all of a sudden you're a senior. Couldn't believe it. What are you going to take most from this experience at South Range and being a part of this softball team and playing for your dad, playing for Coach DeRose, playing for some of the great coaches that you've had and that you have? What's the biggest takeaway that you're going to have?
Well, I definitely say just being a part of this team really is a family. I mean, I've grown up, my dad's been around coaching softball for a while now with Coach DeRose. And it's definitely tough leaving, but I think it's given me something to strive for because I'm going education and I hope to be a coach one day as part of this. And being able to be what my dad and Coach DeRose and Coach Sharkey are for everyone else would be a dream.
Is that the first time anybody's ever said it'd be a dream to be like you, Donnie?
Yes. Yes, I can honestly say yes.
But when you hear that, I mean, as a young father, you constantly think about making the right decisions and paving the way for your kids. When you hear that, at 18 years old, that's got to make you feel good about how you've done, the last 18 years as a dad.
It does. I mean, it means a lot. Her older sister, she was on our volleyball staff this year at the middle school level. She's on with our JV softball staff and is helping out with the varsity now. And, just seeing, how, Jamie and Drew have interacted with each other and talked to each other now, it makes me very proud of both of them.
That's phenomenal. All right, let's get down to some nitty gritties. I guess one last tough question for you, Donnie, is when you see all that you've seen, right? How is it different from seeing what you've seen Jamie go through, not just in the last a month or whatever it's been, but this year? How is it different from seeing it from a father's perspective and a coach's perspective?
Wow. As a father, I always want her to do the best that she can and, try to help her in any way I can. As the coach, I can't say that either her or Drew have had it the easiest with me coaching them. Just because, when you're at practice or a game, you are not my daughter and you are a player. And if you're not doing it, then I'm going to let you know.
Jamie, what's been the most challenging for you from a standpoint of having dad as a coach?
Actually, last night, Kelly and I were joking around. They went scouting for our tournament game. And she went, what a coincidence. We played so loose tonight. Our dads were in here.
But what's been the best part? I mean, there's got to be parts where you look at this and go, how fortunate are you to have your dad to share all these experiences with, whether it be Myrtle Beach, whether it be a state championship runner-up, whether it be all these NE8 championships that you guys have piled up in the trophy case. What are some of those great moments and things that you really will look back here, whether it's next week or 10 years from now, and go, I was really fortunate to have dad in the dugout with me?
Oh, especially during travel, we got to stay a lot together, go do things that we wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. And I mean, just school year, I say we spend so much time together. I'm an office aide for one period at school, then we go to softball, and then we go home. But it's memories that I wouldn't get to make otherwise. And
I love that. If a father and daughter, this is something that doesn't happen often, especially at the varsity level. But it's very, very cool to see when it does. All right. What is the number one rule, Jamie, that you absolutely hate that your dad holds over top of your head?
I want to say if you're 10 minutes early, you're already 10 minutes late.
Yeah.
And Donnie, what's the rule that you feel like you've been most lenient with Jamie on?
What have I been lenient on you about? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, DJ, because I'm probably harder on her than anybody else.
It's okay. So let's flip it. What is the rule that you feel like maybe you've been too hard on her with?
Jeez, oh man. You gotta give me
I know, putting you on the spot. You're going to immediately
ahead of
regret.
time. Remember, I'm old now, so too hard on her. Probably just making sure she's doing every little thing correctly. And that's not a rule, but we don't eat dinner too much together because when we get home from a practice or a game, I always hear, I don't want to talk about it right now. So, I would say that's probably the hardest thing that I've done to her is, carry things over. And when when you're home, you should be a dad. And when you're at home, you should not be that coach.
I love it. All right. You talked about making dinner. I know that you're a pretty damn good cook. So Jamie, what is the best thing that Papa Bear makes?
Me and Julie always talk about his banana bread. He doesn't make it often, but Julie loves his banana bread.
Banana bread. All
I'm
right.
not much of a baker, but I mean, I make a good mac and cheese.
Yes, the mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Mac and cheese. All right.
You just grab whatever cheeses are in the fridge and you just start putting it in there. And
I love it. It's FEREN cheese a la carte. I like it.
Jamie's the baker.
Oh, really?
Oh man, yes.
Okay, so what's the best thing that Jamie makes from the baked goods section?
She just made these things the other day. The little cookies. What kind are they? They're
banana cookies.
They're a banana cookie, but you crushed up some of the vanilla Oreos.
Okay.
And mixed them in with them, and they were good. I mean, they aren't going to last much longer.
Jamie, what has been? Actually, no. We'll start with that. Donnie, what has been your favorite? I mean, when you close your eyes and you think about your daughter, what has been your favorite softball memory that you've shared with Jamie along the way?
I can give you probably two. I mean,
go ahead.
One of the most, one of the proudest times I am of her is, playing in the state finals game. But I would probably say last Thursday, seeing her, cheering on her team. She's got her little bubble machine now in the dugout and supporting the girls when she can't be out there with them. That may be the top of my list of when she's down, she keeps helping.
You said there was another one?
Well, the state finals game.
State final. Okay, got it.
I mean, right. There's not a lot of parents that are coaches that get to say they coached their kid in the state finals game.
No, that's awesome. Jamie, how about you? When you think about the times that you get to spend with your dad on the softball diamond, what's one or two of your fondest memories?
I want to say the tournament practices freshman year.
Sophomore year.
Oh yeah, sophomore year.
Sophomore year. Well,
Um,
would have been your freshman playing year, but sophomore year.
What was so special at those?
Well, I mean, once we got deeper into tournament, you could kind of tell Evie was starting to get nervous, but we put on some music, we did our themes, and he tried to keep it loose for us, cracking jokes, and that's a good memory to have.
I love it. All right. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask about Drew. I mean, you three are like the triad when it comes to it. I feel like you're so very much like, and you're almost, what's crazy is you're almost perfect splits of mom and dad at the same time. But I'm around your dad so much, I see those traits in you, good, bad, and different. So from you, Jamie, what's the one thing that you really, really love that you got from your dad as a trait that you carry with you day in and day out?
I don't know if it's a good one, but my competitiveness.
What's one time that you were over competitive and thought, man, I'm so much like my dad?
Anytime we try to decide who's faster, me or Drew. It causes
Oh, really? Oh, really? This is an interesting topic. Anytime you ask Donnie FEREN who's faster, he or anything, he's going to pick him.
Yeah.
I am. Yes, I still am.
Yeah, put a gator somewhere around. We'll see who's faster.
That's you.
Donnie, when you look at your daughter, both daughters, I mean, let's add Drew to this too. Unfortunately, I don't think we ever got to interview her, but what's the one thing that you look at them and you're grateful that they get from you and grateful they get from their mother?
Well, I can tell you from their mother, they get their kindness and their smarts. There's no question about that. From me, I'm glad they have that. They both are. They're very competitive people. They don't want to lose. It doesn't matter if they're playing a sport, you're playing euchre. None of them want to lose at anything. So I'm glad they got that. But yeah, like I said, they got their kindness and smarts from their mother. There's no question about that.
I love that. All right. Final question for you both. Donnie, we'll start with you. We'll give Jamie the right to refusal here. With Father's Day right around the corner, what makes you happiest that these young ladies are in your life?
Just what you said, they're in my life. They've both brought me joy, over the last 18 plus years. And, I couldn't ask for two better daughters than I have.
Jamie, flipping it on you. What's with Father's Day right around the corner? What makes you so happy to be your father's daughter?
Well, I can't say it's mac and cheese. Probably just, having him as a coach and a dad, he's definitely been someone I can look up to my whole life. And that's something I get to say and I'm happy about.
That's awesome. What a phenomenal interview. Thank you both so much for your time. Best of luck, Jamie and Donnie, coaching the rest of the way. Last question, Jamie, sorry to just bring this up. I mean, would you ever consider making a comeback and getting back on the diamond if everything's healthy and you're feeling good?
I don't think I'll be able to.
I asked the question when we went to the surgeon when they were talking about putting pins in it. And I said, if we could put the plate and pins in Friday, would she be able to come back in a couple weeks? And he sort of laughed at me and said, no, that's not going to happen.
I think every dad's got to ask the question, right?
Yeah.
Until they tell you no.
That's correct. That's correct.
You two are awesome. So happy that you were able to make time for us today. And happy Father's Day, Donnie, to you. And hopefully,
DJ.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Jamie, continued success. Obviously, you're someone that is in our lives and embedded in the lives of our kids. And I can tell you from my standpoint and obviously from my wife's, if our daughter grows up to be anything and half of what you are, we've done an awesome job. So Donnie, that speaks highly of you, and Jamie, even more so of you. Congratulations on all the success. We wish you nothing but the best moving forward. And if we can ever help in any way, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you, DJ.
Thank you for having us.
You got it. There they go. Listen, two of the great ones, two of the absolute great ones. Donnie FEREN has been a great friend of mine, close enough to be a brother. So much that the kids call him Uncle Donnie. And Jamie, it's hard to even fathom that she's a senior in a tough blow that she dealt. But listen, it's not what happens when good things. It's not how you act, I guess, when good things happen to you. It's how you react when your back's up against the wall. This young lady trained her entire life to get where she is right now, and she was dealt a bad hand, and she's still making the most